everybody, and welcome to another episode of Insufficient Friends. I'm Kevin. She's Nikki.
Hi.
And Nick, what do we have going on this week in history, or this day in history, or whatever we're doing here today?
So, February 8th, two different royal family type things.
Oh, okay.
So, the first, February 8th in 1725, Peter the Great passed away, so the Emperor of Russia.
Okay.
And then in 1587, Mary Queen of Scots was beheaded on this day.
Oh, okay. Yes.
After 19 years of imprisonment.
Okay. I guess I didn't realize she was in prison for that long before they killed her.
It was a long time.
Because she was young when she was queen, and she was
Super
only
young.
queen for a very short period of time, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, she would have only been probably I guess if she was in prison for 20 years, she would have been in her probably 30s, 40s, early 40s, early 40s, something like that? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't realize she was in prison for that long. I thought she was beheaded, like, relatively quickly.
Yeah, she was in prison in England for a very long time.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracies around it, too. Like, her actual death. Like, some people say Elizabeth didn't actually want to kill her. A lot of people say that just, like, the men and the, not advisory board, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, the advisors, her advisors, yeah.
Yeah, were the ones that, like, set up the whole thing and, like, I don't know, there's a lot of different thoughts around that. But basically, they found a letter, whether the letter is real or not, I don't know, but, like, of her trying to set up a plot to kill Elizabeth. And that's why she was eventually beheaded. But
Well, we watched that whole movie on it. I don't remember the name of it, but we watched that a while back. And that was, that was an interesting movie to watch about it, so. Yeah. But, anyway. Excuse me. Oh, man. It's been a long day. Anyway, Nick, this week we are talking about CEOs. Day in the life of a CEO.
yeah.
We are not CEOs. I wouldn't be living in a small apartment if I was a CEO. You might actually be living in that house that you have a picture of behind you if you were CEO. But, yeah, anyway, so.
I was just curious, like, my whys for choosing this as a topic is you hear all the time, like, laborers do all the hard work and then people in upper management have it easy type of thing. Like, that's a very common, like, mantra that I hear. But, I mean, that's not what I believe, to clarify, but I hear that a lot. Like, people in management don't do anything.
Okay.
And then it's the actual workers doing all the work, which I totally get that, where that's coming from. And there are definitely some bad managers in the world. But I was thinking about, like, even a step higher, like, what do CEOs actually do day to day? Like, what are their days actually consist of, and what does their schedules look like, and what do they see their days as, too? So, this had also started, I saw this, CNBC headline about, like, what Jeff Bezos, like, thinks of his CEO position.
Okay.
Well, this was when he was CEO. I think now he's just on the advisory board.
Yeah, he's on the board.
Yeah. But he said it's a good day if he makes 3 good decisions a day, and that he's always thinking 3 years ahead. So that was, like, the tagline from this article. So basically, like, lots of meetings, lots of team stuff, lots of emails, whatever, but 3 decisions a day. Which, if you think about, at first I was like, okay, 3 decisions a day.
3 good decisions a day.
Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, in his context, that's probably very different because he's thinking about the future of a company.
Yeah.
Versus, like, when I'm, like, doing a financial plan, for example, that's like 10 decisions in one plan. So I'm like, well, that should be easy. But then I got to thinking it's very different decisions.
Yeah, it's entirely different decisions. It's, okay, it's not, I don't even know how to comprehend what decisions they're making. Like, it's not, because it's,
I also think it's very different when it's like Amazon versus like if you're CEO local store
Yeah.
and you have 3 employees type of thing.
Yeah.
Because that one is going to be very hands-on. You could be CEO and founder and whatever and have like 3 employees of this local store or
Yeah.
boutique or whatever.
Which
And
I
you're the story of it. It's very different.
I know that you can technically have founder, manager, CEO of like a small business that has like 5 employees or something. I I mean, chief executive officer, I guess, yeah, you could technically call yourself that. I don't really I don't really quantify that as the same thing up here in the noggin space that I
Yeah.
have. I think of a CEO
Yeah.
as like big business, like it's like a
Like Fortune
corporation.
500.
Yeah, you got to be a corporation. Maybe not even Fortune 500, but you have to be a corporation, like
Yeah.
several hundred employees, like a large company, in order to medium to large size company in order to have a CEO position, like where
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
an executive, you have to
And
have
then you
a
can,
large something going on.
yes. And then you can like diversify or clarify it even more of like the nature of the business. Cause like the CEO of a, I don't know, like defense contractor is going to be making very different decisions than Jeff Bezos, than, the CEO of like a skincare company or something.
Hmm.
So I
To a
think,
certain extent, but I think also to a certain
yeah.
extent they're going to be making somewhat similar decisions too, because you've got to think that like yes, they're all doing different job. Well, a defense contractor is going to be a
Yeah, I
different
guess their
thing, but like
meetings
as far
might be
as like
similar.
as far as like if we put, let's say, a defense contractor is going to be an outlier, obviously, but like
Yeah.
Amazon, a skincare company, and like something else. If they're all, even if they're not the same, if they're all like retail ish based, they're all going to be somewhat
Hmm.
similar, even if they don't do the same thing, because they're all going to
Yeah.
be.
Because a lot of them did say their days are meeting with their team,
Mm-hmm.
managing their team, doing, a lot of them were like doing articles, press,
Yeah,
whatever. So
because everything
maybe
that's
if
going
you
to
break it
be,
down that far, it is kind of
yeah,
similar. Hmm.
everything that's going to be nuanced to what the business actually does is going to be handled by lower people below the
Yeah.
CEO. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah,
Yeah.
so
So here's like an example.
okay,
This is a CEO of um, it just says less than 100 employees and no kids too. That's also
okay,
another. There are some CEOs that have kids, some that don't.
mm-hmm.
So like this one, for example, they basically wake up at 5 a.m. and go to bed at 11 p.m. With kids, it's gonna be different. So this is a non-kids one. So 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Wake up, check for critical emails and do light news reading. 6 to 7:30 a.m. exercise. 7:30 to 8 commute. So obviously the commute times, some people are from home, some have longer commutes, and then but this was a common thing. A lot of them do their deep strategic work in the morning and meetings in the afternoon because your willpower, brain, whatever you want to call it, like you can be more devoted to your tasks
Mm-hmm.
in the morning.
Yeah,
So like 8:30 to 11 is just labeled like deep work. So that could be strategic planning, key reporting, and high level decision making. And then 11 to 11:30 lunch, and then until 4 p.m. as meetings and collaboration. So it says one-on-ones, board meetings, client calls, um, client lunch. I guess that's separate from their lunch. Um, and then 4 to 6, review and admin tasks. So I guess reviewing the day's progress, responding to any last emails. Um, 6 to 7, it says commute home and dinner. And then until 10 p.m. is final email checks, preparing top 3 priorities for tomorrow, loose ends. And then 10 to 11, shutdown routine.
hmm,
So that's someone with no family.
yeah,
Really, the only thing that differed with the family one was that they cut off at 7 p.m. So
For time with
instead of
family or
11 p.m.
whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's, and I know you have to be a little structured, but that's a very structured.
Yeah.
And I know you would probably have to be pretty structured in order to do that much stuff and be a CEO, but that is a very structured process.
Yeah.
That
And there were, like, I was also just, skimming some other articles. Like, there are some CEOs, like, there was one a CEO of like a yoga company, and her day was not like that at all.
yeah,
Like, she started with like a 3 hour hike. So, like,
yeah.
people are different
Everybody's different.
too.
Yeah. Um, I yeah, I just think that's one person's, I guess I don't know where that comes from, so that's going to be probably like one
It
person
just says
thinks it's the
CEO
ideal.
of a firm that with less than 100 employees.
Yeah,
It didn't give a
so
name or anything. So,
yeah, I wonder
yeah.
like what somebody like Bezos with like 100,000 employees, or however many employees Amazon has or Walmart or something like that. Wonder how that
Yeah.
differs. Like less than 100
He made
to
3 decisions
a
and then went
hundred
golfing.
million.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Um, so I pulled up uh to differentiate. I pulled up and to compare and contrast
Yeah.
a presidential schedule.
I love this. I'm excited for
So
this.
it is a little more detailed, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
So you can find these. Every president has these. It's easier to find some than others.
Yeah.
But their archives have them. So every day they would keep a diary of I'm guessing the Secret Service kept this of where they went, what they did. And it is typed out. This is Gerald Ford's presidential diary from the Monday, April 28th of 1975. Okay? So we start, it tells you at the top of it, it started at the White House. Place the day
Yeah.
began is at the White House. So we start at the White House. And it's got, I'll link like where I found this so you guys can look at it because it's kind of interesting. Time in is 6:50, and that is the president had breakfast.
Okay.
At 7:34, the president went to the Oval Office. At 7:45, the president met with the chief of the CIA, and White House support staff, Lieutenant General, Deputy Assistant for National Security. That lasted until 7:57. So that lasted
Not very long.
12 minutes.
Yeah.
Then 3 minutes later, at 8 o'clock, he met with Counselor Robert Hartman for 35 minutes. Then from till 8:35. Then from 8:35 to 9:02, we met with Assistant Rumsfeld, and it just goes down. And this is how it goes through. There's 4 pages that it just goes through like this, and it ends at. Let's see here. Is there anything interesting? There's different things like. At 10:21 in the morning, the president was escorted by Mr. Smith to the platform for a list of platform guests, and it says see Appendix A. So there's another set, like a whole other sheet of stuff that has information on it.
Did he get a lunch break?
Let's see here. President met with President discussed. President.
Because that's a long time to go without food for a normal human being with a normal stomach, unlike me. But yeah.
I don't see it saying lunch on here. Now maybe he did have it somewhere,
As
but
like part of one of these
maybe as
things.
part
Yeah.
of like one of these meetings, or he just ate it during like in the middle of one of these, which is
Mm-hmm.
possible. Um, but it doesn't
Hmm.
specifically say that he had lunch. Um, President, yeah, it doesn't because there's a couple meetings around like 11 to 12 or something like that, but it doesn't specifically say that he had lunch with anybody or had lunch or went somewhere
Ooh,
for lunch.
I just Googled, did Gerald Ford eat lunch?
Maybe he didn't eat
It
lunch.
says, yes, most days he chose a scoop of cottage cheese topped with A1 steak sauce and raw onions,
Interesting.
accompanied by a gin martini. Occasionally, he would eat with the White House staff cafeteria.
A gin martini, a scoop of cottage cheese with A1 steak sauce and onions,
Yep.
and a gin
Sometimes
martini.
finish his lunch with butter pecan ice cream.
Interesting. Um,
Yeah. So yes, he did have lunch most days, is what it says.
this has him ending his day at 12:05. So 12:05 in the morning. So after midnight, he
Oh wow.
returned to the second floor residence. Um, so yeah, that's
I mean, I get that he's a world leader, but also he's a world leader. That's concerning. Like, lack of sleep and what it does to the human body is insane.
yeah,
Because you have to think if he returned up at 12:05, he's not going to bed until at least 12:30.
yeah.
And then getting up at what was it, 6:30?
Oh, here's President and First Lady had dinner at 9:15. So there's dinner.
Okay.
9:15 to 10. Well, it doesn't say what time it ended, but President talked with Secretary Kissinger at 10:24. So there isn't anything from 9:15 to 10:24. Um,
Interesting.
so yeah,
Yeah, that's a long day.
yeah.
And like
Now I'm sure not
all the
every day is
presidents have
that
been
long,
old.
but that's that's
Yeah. But just imagine like how old a lot of these presidents are.
yeah,
Like that long of a day with lack of sleep.
yeah. It's a long day.
And
Six
add in the gin
basically
martinis.
basically 7 o'clock to midnight. That's and then you're gonna turn around basically 6 hours of sleep and turn around and get up and do it again. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
6 hours is about what I average, but it's yeah, it's
hmm
not fun on a regular basis.
Yeah. I have to get at least 7.
Yeah, I get that.
8, I'm performing well. 7, I'm alive. But also I think biologically women need more sleep too. But
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can function. I can function for a few days on 3.
yeah.
But it starts to get rough after a couple. Like, it
Yeah,
starts to
because it
get
affects your brain, it affects your body, it
yeah.
affects
No, I
everything.
get it. It starts to get
Yeah.
really rough after a couple days, but I can do it. Um,
Yeah.
but
I just Googled, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just
no, go
Googled,
for it.
do women biologically need more sleep? And the first line says, yes, research suggests women often need slightly more sleep due to greater brain connectivity.
Yeah.
It clarifies brain usage. Women tend to use more of their brains and multitask more, requiring more rest for mental restoration. And then it also goes on to say hormonal fluctuations. Um, and then women are more susceptible to the negative health effects from sleep loss, but also the higher mental load. So it says biologically, women need 20 to 50 minutes on average more sleep.
Okay. So half hour to an hour, basically 20, 50 minutes,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I can function on 3 hours of sleep a night for a few days. It starts to get really tough after that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
And maybe that's why, going back to the CEOs, maybe that's why they're so rigid because you have to be high performing if you're a CEO. It's not like you can just get by, doing the bare minimum. At least I would assume for like most
Yeah.
CEOs that are actually CEOs, not like the ones that are off on Jeffrey Epstein's yacht. But
Yes.
they're very diligent about not only waking up, but like every single one I looked at had like exercise time in there too, at least 30 minutes.
Well,
So
that can also boost your energy and get you some stuff too, which that makes sense. So
yeah, and who knows if like they actually do that every day, but that's what their schedules say.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I don't know.
I just thought it was interesting to look at like what do they actually do and what do their days look like?
Yeah.
They're not that different from our days when you think about it in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
So the president was,
The president
but
is, yes.
yeah,
But it is
these
still a lot of
CEO
meetings.
ones,
It's a lot of meetings, just like a
yeah,
CEO. Like, I mean,
yeah,
you're the chief executive basically of the country. It's just
yeah, and I mean, America is basically a business, and you have to run it.
yeah.
So to an
So
extent, um, yeah, the only difference I saw, I did look at a couple where the CEOs were parents,
hmm
whether it was men or women. Um, they still had a dedicated cutoff time. Most of them tried to have a dedicated cutoff time and not miss, major events in their child's lives.
makes
But they
sense.
did outsource a lot of what like parents would normally do: cooking, cleaning, nannies. They
Yeah.
outsourced a lot.
I mean, that makes sense if you're trying to run a multi-million-dollar company or something. That
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense.
So
But anyway, okay. I think it's time for facts, right?
yeah.
I had you go first last week, so I guess I'll go first this week,
Yeah.
just so I don't always make you go first. So I thought it was interesting that most CEOs don't have a background in business. More of them have background in science and engineering. 33% of 33% of the CEOs of S&P 500 companies have undergraduate degrees in engineering, while only 11% have a degree in business administration. So three times
Yeah, that's
more
interesting.
have an engineering degree than a business degree.
Yeah. In a way that makes sense. I feel like engineers are creative problem solvers in a lot of ways.
Yes, I get that.
And
But
I'm
engineering
sure
is a very
like
specific thing that you go into
that
school for.
is. I wonder if they studied instead of CEOs, if they looked at like CFOs, CMOs, CHO, like the other positions, those are probably like business management. Like those are probably more specialized to their
Maybe,
actual degree. You know what I mean?
maybe,
Yeah.
possibly. I don't know. Yeah,
Like a CFO
should be
probably has a
finance.
business or finance degree.
We would
Yeah.
hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope
And
so.
like a CMO probably has a marketing
Yeah,
degree and background. But yeah, CEOs, everyone has different leadership styles.
yeah.
And yeah, that is really interesting.
I just thought that like it's not anything. It's engineering specifically, not anything else. It
Hmm.
is engineering, which is not knocking engineers. Engineers are smart. Like I'm not knocking
Yeah.
engineers at all. Not trying to knock engineers at all. I'm just that's a very specific
Hmm.
degree field to go into that you want to do to then end up being something
Yeah.
that doesn't really match up. Like,
Yeah.
and maybe it's partly because I don't know what all's on the S&P 500.
And maybe
Maybe
they've like
tech is a big
created,
thing. Like maybe tech is big in
yeah.
the S&P 500 and there are a lot of software engineers or something. I don't maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
Yeah. Or like healthcare companies where they
Yeah.
started as like engineering in healthcare and then
Yeah.
went to be CEO
That's
because they
possible.
created something.
Yeah. Maybe that's what maybe
I
there is
I
like a
feel like
reason, but
engineering is like creative
mhm.
problem solving, like so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It is still a really high percentage, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But
A third. Yeah.
um yeah, my fact was over 45% of the 500 CEOs, Fortune 500 Fortune 500 CEOs aren't native to the country where the company, oh, sorry, this is Fortune Global 500, so different than the American 500.
Okay.
So over 45% aren't native to the country where their company is headquartered. So
interesting.
It's a really interesting globalization fact.
Yeah.
Like business is very global now.
That makes sense. I mean, our economy is very global, so that doesn't really surprise me. 50% or 45% or almost 50% is still kind of high though.
Yeah.
But I wonder what the most common country is. I wonder like which country is the highest, has the highest number of CEOs.
It's probably going to say the United States. United States. The United States has the highest number of CEOs globally, producing nearly 47% of global activity startup. India has a significant and growing representation.
Okay.
And then it says...
India doesn't
surprise me. Oh, this is startups. So startup CEOs is US and then China and then UK.
Okay.
So I guess they differ between startup CEOs and large CEOs.
Okay.
I guess.
It doesn't surprise me.
That kind of makes sense.
It doesn't surprise me that the US is high because the US is a, like a economic powerhouse.
Hub. Yeah.
India doesn't surprise me because there's just so many flippin' people there. So
same with China.
The fact that they just have so many people to pull from is just a big thing.
Yeah, and India and China have very
and they have very like
culturally and financially.
Yeah, they're both growing. Like China is a very big economy as well, and India is very much a growing, very fast growing economy as well. So, so that don't really surprise me. That's not surprising at all, actually. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, I think that is it for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this. It was something different. We don't... Well, I say we don't usually do this. We do really everything.
Yeah, we do something different every week.
Yeah. Last week we talked about exorcisms. This week we talked about CEO schedules. So, yeah, we really do everything. So I can't really say we don't do this because that's not true. We'll put a couple links of things down at the bottom so you guys can look at them too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.